Hey, everybody. Let's talk today about your bid no bid strategy. So, what is a bid no bid strategy? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's when you look at an opportunity, so there's an RFP that's coming out, and you determine whether you should bid or whether you should not bid on the thing. So, here's where this comes from. A lot of times people will reach out to me and say, Mike, we've been bidding on opportunities and we just can't figure out why we're not winning. And so I start asking them a series of questions around it. First thing I'll ask is, did you know about the opportunity before it came out? And a lot of times this is where the phone goes silent. And I always say, look, if you don't have any intelligence about this opportunity, but the first time you saw it was on sam.gov, you're likely in trouble. This conversation's only going to get worse, right? And so the first thing you need to make sure when you're doing your bid no bid qualifications, if you will, is ask the question, is this the first time we saw it? If it is, the chances are you probably shouldn't bid on it. Doesn't mean you can't, but the chances are maybe you shouldn't be bidding on this thing. Then as you start to go through the opportunity, you have to make sure, can we meet all of the requirements? So if you told me, hey, we can only meet 50% of the requirements, doesn't mean you can't bid on it, but you're probably going to need a teaming partner. Okay? So that's one of the things. And so if you have a teaming partner who can fit those other requirements and it makes you a strong team, then you can bid on the opportunity. But if you only meet 50% of the requirements and the rest is a coin flip on whether you can find a partner, you're going to have a lot of trouble winning this. So there's another thing right there. As you're going through and you're looking at what their requirements are, one of them is usually going to be past performance. They'll usually either ask for 2 or 3, which is the most common, to ask for 3 past performance examples. So if you start to look through it and go, wow, we don't really have any relevant past performance. That's the key there, is relevant past performance. So let's say this is a $10 million opportunity and you're going to be deploying thousands of users around the country on, say, a new software platform, and you've only done a $100,000 opportunity with maybe 100 users. Even if you've done that 4 or 5 times, you don't have relevant past performance. You haven't done it at the scale the government is asking. So even if you're one of the best at doing what you do, but the scale of what you do in your past performance doesn't meet what they're asking, or you don't have the amount of past performance, so they're asking for 3 and you have 1, you're not going to win that opportunity by yourself. Again, you're going to need a teaming partner for that one. So as you start to go through, there's a lot of questions like this that you need to ask. One of them that I always say is, hey, in addition to this being the first time you saw it, do you have any intelligence on this? Have you talked to a contracting officer about it? Have you talked to a program or project manager about this? Do you know someone at that agency? Do you know someone in the small business office? Have you been tracking this for 6 months and gone to an industry day? Do you have any intelligence about it? Do you know the current prime if this is a recompete? Have you talked with them about it? Again, if the answer is no, the odds are very slim you're going to win that without the right teaming partner. So these are just a couple. I could rattle off more, but these are questions that you need to ask. One of them that's really important right now is, do we have the manpower to do this work? Do we have the staff? So if it's calling for a couple of experts and you're like, man, we just lost our expert who does this, and it's really hard. It's like a PhD level, whatever. It's going to be really hard to recruit this, and you don't have one on staff. Maybe you've got to pass on the opportunity. Or again, see, I'm bringing up teaming partners all the time. Maybe you need a teaming partner who can come in and fill that role for you. Because the worst thing that you could do is actually tell the government, hey, we can do this work, win the contract, and then have to sit down with the government and say, hey, we can't do the work because fill in the blank, one of these reasons. So you need a really good bid, no bid strategy before you spend all that time and energy responding to an RFP. And so for you, it may be a handful of questions, but those questions are really important in determining how you allocate your time. Because at the end of the day, you need to be looking at it and saying, hey, we have an 80%, 90% chance of winning this thing. That's an opportunity we need to chase versus an opportunity on the other side where it's like, yeah, we only have like a 20, 25% chance of winning that. And that makes it easy in your business to go 80% chance, 20% chance. Hey, we're going to chase this RFP. Makes it super, super easy. So in your business, everybody's going to come up with their own bid, no bid strategy, but I highly encourage in your business to have a set of those questions to make sure you're asking yourself and your team before you spend the energy and effort to go chase an RFP that you might not win. And look, at the end of the day, if you really want to chase it to position yourself with a client, go ahead and do it. If you really want to chase it and you don't have all the qualifications, go get that teaming partner. If you have any questions, as always, you know how to reach me. We'll see you next time.